All right, welcome back, guys. We are here again. We are missing one of the dynamic trio.
Keita, we miss you, girl.
We miss you. COVID fucking sucks,
It does.
and here we are. So, yeah.
Though I'm missing you. No, playing.
No, but in all seriousness, we are missing our friend. But she'll be back for the next episode. But tonight, me and Tisa are gonna hold it down.
Yes.
We are going to talk about entrepreneurship, but what us mamas like to call it is mompreneurship or mompreneur. You know, you see the hashtags on IG, mompreneur. All things business, or in the words of the homie Scrappy, the biz naive. so, Tisa, let's start with you.
Okay.
What was your motivation to go out and become a business owner?
I would say it did. Oh, that's a really good question. Mm-hmm. The desire definitely didn't start with owning a business. It was more so really trying to follow a passion, right? How do I do more of what I feel like my calling is?
Okay.
And I actually I started out not wanting to make a profit off of it in the beginning because of fear that, I don't know, fear maybe that I was going to be successful, fear that I wasn't going to be successful. Okay. Either way, it was driven off of fear.
Okay.
So it was really trying to, I felt something in me that was like, I'm supposed to be doing more, right? And I've always had a passion to help people. So it was like a burning desire that was like, I need to be doing more. Like I've made it successfully career-wise, right? Or what I would determine my successes in my mind.
Okay.
Career-wise, working a 9-to-5, and I was still not satisfied. I was like, this isn't it. Like, there's something in my spirit that's not satisfied. So I was like, how do I follow my passion? How do I follow my passion and turn that into something in my life? So that's how it started. And then once I actually started walking in my calling, walking in purpose, then I was like, oh, I could actually do this and make something of it, turn it into a business. Here I am now.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, Tisa is a master certified life coach.
Woo-woo, I am.
So if your life needs some coaching,
yes, hit me up.
Hit her up.
Yes.
If your life needs some rearranging,
Tisa-Renee.com, find me. Or find me on IG, Tisa_Renee.com.
Right, that part. I think for me, it's kind of similar. I wanted to provide a safe space for people to kind of hear about some of the struggles in motherhood and mental health in the Black community. Yeah. I'm really big about mental health in the Black community and us really making it more than this taboo thing or only certain people go to a therapist or whatever. Because now the celebrities are on it and now it's a thing. But, what about the person who may not have good insurance or, what if the person is limited to Medicaid only and they have to do community agencies? Yep. And no shade to community agencies. I work for community agencies. There are some great therapists there, but it's a revolving door, so the consistency is not the same. Mm-hmm. So you find a lot of times that people don't get the quality service that they need. So I was like, I'm going to start a podcast. I like to talk. I wanted a free space where I could talk, where nobody could tell me. It was my platform. I could just do my thing.
What you wanted, yeah.
And if you got some gems out of it, great. And if you didn't, skip, fast forward, record, don't erase, don't follow, whatever. So that's how the podcast came about. When I decided to do it, I started to look up okay, how do I get my LLC? And that was the whole process. And I started following business pages and really doing research. So I did that part and went through the whole process. So ladies and gentlemen, please stop saying you got a business and you don't have it registered anywhere. You're not doing anything with it. It's not legit. We are not doing the side, back door, whatever. If you a chef and you selling plates, go get your LLC.
Yeah, it's very
Make sure you
easy.
legit. It's super easy. It's $100.
Yeah.
Depending on what state you live in, it might cost you a little more because then they have these things called registered agent. So for those that don't know, this is going to be like informational, by the way. But so for those who don't know, registered agent is the person who pretty much handles all of like legality. So like if somebody is suing your company, they're going to get the letter first and it's going to come to you. What else? If you don't want to do a registered agent and you try to use yourself, that means your personal address, your personal address is public knowledge. You do not want people being able to roll up to your house if you sold them some janky product. I think what's the latest thing I've been seeing online? It was the girl with the pink sauce. Oh, God. Like, and look, sis, do not come on my page. Because this is not a jab at you. Like, your pink sauce may be the shit, but like, I don't know. But don't attack us. I'm just saying what I've been seeing. I haven't bought any. I don't know. However, I do know that people are saying it had molds in it, whatever the case may be. You gotta handle your business. And the worst thing that could have been for her is if she didn't have her stuff in order, people could just find her address. It's public knowledge. Yeah. So, handle your handle. What's something that you learned in this journey of like trying to set up your official LLC, all the things?
Okay, well here's a few. Here's a couple. Mm-hmm. One was determining, because I also impact, like, my passion and my business is under like the mental health category, right? Mm-hmm. And trying to make I'm not a licensed therapist, but trying to provide space for people, an outlet for people to heal and to evolve and to grow mm-hmm. in the realm in which I could do it. One of the things, one of my really close friends is a licensed therapist, and we were talking about a nonprofit, right? Mm-hmm. And learning the difference. So she taught me a lot about the difference between a nonprofit and then an LLC, right? Mm-hmm. Because we want to begin to do some work together in the future. So I learned a lot about the difference, like basically with the difference between setting up an LLC and other type of business structures. Mm-hmm. Was one. And another one was stay on top of your annual filings. People don't do that, right? Like, that's really important. Like, you can file an LLC, which is great, but there's an annual thing that you have to do every year that a lot of people forget about. So make sure you do that, please.
Yes, please be in good standing with your state.
Yes.
You have to pay taxes, even if you have a business that doesn't have any income. Yep. So, like, perfect example, I have the podcast. I don't do any promotions. I don't do, what do you call it, ads or anything currently. So I don't get revenue. Like, if anything, I got a whole lot of costs.
Yes.
Amen. So if you want to add, no, but I have a lot of costs. So every year I have to say zero, but I still got to pay the $300 fee. But I don't owe them taxes because I don't charge for anything. Like, I don't even have a Patreon, which is like the new thing to get like exclusive stuff. So I guess like, if I had the Patreon, then I would do half of the show for free, and then you would have to log on and pay me to hear the rest or whatever. But I'm not there yet. However, like she said, stay on top of your stuff. And let me say this. If you have a unique name that's kind of similar or that's something that could be catchy, trademark it, period. I started my LLC in 2020. I don't think I did my first episode until a year later. Why? Because I was in the process of trademarking. My trademark went through in February of this year.
Mm-hmm. It takes a long time.
It takes a long time. I started it because I needed to be using the name so that they could see that, oh, she's using it. Because you can file your trademark in 2 different ways. So here's some gems, some free gems. Get your notebook out. I'm going to tell you. You can do an intent to use, which means that you haven't started doing anything with the name, but you intend to use it. So eventually they're going to want to see where there's some stuff set up with the name of your business. If not, and you're already using it and you know it's yours, then you could just file it. And they'll still want evidence of the use of the name. Here's some tips. If you want to trademark, the first thing you need to do is Google the name that you think is uniquely yours. Because I promise you somebody thought about it 10 times over. You're going to find 10 names or half a name on Instagram or something, or somebody has a website, whatever. There were like 3 names that I wanted. and somebody had a website or a YouTube page and they had barely been using it, but they still could have filed and said, oh, that's my name, whatever, whatever. So by the time you do your internet search, your social media search or whatever, then you can use the name and you have a better chance of going forward with the trademark without them doing like an office action, which is just another roadblock in that process. Because what happens is you file your paperwork, it takes a few months for somebody to even look at the paperwork, and then they if they find a hiccup or something similar, they'll send what they call an office action. Office actions could be something as simple as the way the paperwork was filed, or something as big as, hey, there's a conflict, somebody, whatever. Then once it goes through that process and it gets approved, then there's a thing where for like 30 days, somebody gets to attest it or say like, no, I have a name, I have a business under that. And if they do that, then you have another issue. Excuse me. Now, I went through a lawyer. You can do it on your own. You probably save a lot of money if you do it on your own. But when those office actions and stuff come in, you have to have the time. So I would say this. If you have the time and you really are willing to do the research behind like filing your own trademark, then save yourself the money.
Yeah.
If you don't have the time or you're not willing to do that, which I'm a person of luxury. I did not have the time or the willingness to do all of that on my own. So I paid. Now, what I will say is research a lawyer.
Okay.
Because there are like boutique attorneys and then they're like your attorneys. The boutique attorneys are like well known. They do a lot of trademarks. They got a lot of clients, high profile clients. Like the lady who did mine, shout out to Rosina. She works with just about everybody. I think HBCU Pride Nation, I think maybe went through her. Who else? I know for a fact Black by Popular Demand is they used her. I think Pinky Cole, Slutty Vegan used her. So like she has a lot of clients.
Yeah.
So the price was pricing. But at the end of the day, they made sure that everything was legit, went through whatever. Cool beans. And if you want to know who she is, she's called At the Biz Lawyer. And her tag is Secure the Brand. So that's the lawyer that I use. But there are other attorneys, your local trademark attorneys with a fee may not be as high. And they can move a lot quicker because they don't have the level of clients. So it depends on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And then there's people online who I found after the fact who help do trademarks that are not attorneys, but they help people do that. And it was like $500 versus like the $1,400 I paid.
Wow.
Well, no, I paid $12 because I got it was a special going on. It was like $12.50 or some shit like that. But
so can we talk about? You just made me think of something else. But before I jump to that, can we talk about the importance of trademarking? Like, why was that important for you?
It was important for me because I didn't want to put all this money into branding for somebody to steal the name and then I have to argue about who had it first. Especially if you had a catchy name where maybe somebody with a lot more capital than you could move faster than you.
Yeah.
It's like your money against their money. And I hate to say, for us small business owners or, people just starting out with a brand or whatever you're trying to do, it happens to people all the time. Look at the girl who was trying to say she had like skin or skim something that's trying to go against Kim Kardashian and, Lori Harvey, because their names are similar. And she's trying to say the name is so similar. She had it a few years earlier, but you don't have the money to put out product as fast as them. You know what I mean? Like, they could launch a campaign tomorrow. You gonna need a business loan or your auntie and uncle, or, so it changes the nature of the game. And then there's money lost. Because if you don't win, you got to start from scratch. So if you got t-shirts, if you got whatever, that's all done. Because once they send that cease and desist, it's a cease and desist because they can collect damages.
Yeah. Another thing that I saw recently, I think last year, was businesses with a name, businesses that pop up with the same name as yours, kind of doing the same thing that you do, or portraying that they do the same thing that you do, but actually, particularly when you're in the action-oriented community, action-oriented space, where your brand is known for like helping the community and doing things for the community, and another brand comes in with the same name as yours, but they're actually known for doing like shiesty things, and people associating the brand with your brand.
Yep.
To be able to differentiate that, and like that's something that I saw come up last year. I can't remember the brand name off the top of my head, but I saw it on Instagram. And they're going through a whole process of suing these people and whatnot because, of course, they trademark their brand name.
So the thing about trademarking that also gets tricky is you do have to have a certain amount of capital because there's categories. So when you trademark under a certain category. So like my trademark is under providing like a service through like the podcast. I can do workshops. I can do books. I can do courses, things like that. But that's under, I feel like, category 41. But then if I wanted to sell like shirts and stuff, I have to file for a different trademark. So you have to be clear about what your trademark covers. So somebody could, if they let them do, oh, I'm just a mom and do shirts, I can argue it because it is my brand, but like I don't have the trademark for all these different categories. So I do have to go back and do some additional categories. Don't be slick and go out here and trademark my stuff and then make me try to buy it from you. Because there are people who do that.
What?
So like
crazy.
I was listening to this guy on Instagram and he was like, oh, this name, like when Meta first was like, when Facebook was changing Meta, he was like, Meta this, buy the domain for Meta. Buy this because it's not this, and then they may have to pay you for it if they want that domain. Like people just like sit around and watch stuff and that's what they do and look for ways to make money. It sucks, but like there's always a loophole. So I would say handle your handle. Like perfect example. What was I watching? Burger King, was it? Burger King. Burger King was not the first Burger King. The Burger King that we know. I can't remember what state it was, but there was a Burger King in a specific, I think it was Illinois. Was it Illinois? Some town in Illinois, I think. Don't quote me on it, but look it up. The original Burger King is not the King we know. It was in one specific town in a state, and by the time they went through court, they ruled that Burger King could keep the nationwide Burger King, but they couldn't build a Burger King within a certain radius of the original one.
Wow, okay.
So
Ouch.
They still lost out on the name. Yeah. When you think about it. They just can't build Burger King in that area and within a certain mile radius.
Wow.
That's the importance of trademarking your stuff and doing a federal trademark. Do not get wrapped into a trade name under your LLC. Your state will ask you, do you want to operate under a trade name? Yes, but still, it does not cover you nationwide. You have to do the federal trademark.
Yeah. Also, setting up that LLC and being able to write off stuff for your taxes, even if you're not making income. Mm-hmm. So I've heard people say, one side of an argument of being a business owner is, wait until you actually have business income to set up your LLC, mm-hmm. because you will have annual expenses that you have to kick out regardless of whether you have profit or not having an LLC, which is true. Mm-hmm. However, on the flip side of that, you got to think about your brand name, right? And it being used. Also, tax write-offs. Like, there's so much expenses that you can write off being owning a business and knowing what you could. One of the recommendations I would give people is find yourself a person, a
accountant.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna say license, but license isn't the right word. Find yourself an accountant that does and knows business taxes, mm-hmm. that can educate you on the proper way, the legal way, to know what you can write off for business expenses, because there's a lot that you don't know that you're doing that you don't know that you can write off. And it's really important especially when that income's not coming in, but regardless of whether income's coming in or not, knowing how to handle your finances on the tax side is really important when you own your own business.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to get audited.
No, nobody wants to get audited. Here's the other thing. So, like, I watch a lot of pages that are geared toward business. So, like, shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Those guys are great. They drop gems all the time. I can't wait till I can afford to like go to one of y'all's things and get like VIP or whatever. But
send a ticket,
right? Help your sister.
Right.
And then like the Wall Street Trapper, like I follow him because he's big on stocks and stuff, and he just drops gems. But I was watching a young lady, I can't remember everybody's tag, but like just put in certain hashtags and the people will come up for y'all. Like you, at this point in the game, if you're looking into entrepreneurship, your Instagram should be geared toward things that are going to feed you information.
Right.
You should not be on Instagram on your business page following a bunch of people that put up posts that they dancing to whatever TikTok thing is popular right now. They, like, do that on your personal page. On your business page, your feed should be motivation to keep going. It should be people that's dropping business gems on how to build your business credit, on how to, get into another stream of income under your business. Whatever the case may be, it should be really filled with that. So she was talking about being careful about if you're not making a profit, wanting to write too much stuff off because when you try to get those business loans, you're a risk.
Yep.
So keep that in mind, because I mean, if I was the bank and you came in every year for the last 4 years, your business has been operating, you've been writing off all your expenses and you haven't made any money, why would I give you money?
You look like a really big risk.
Yeah. So be careful. Yes, you can write stuff off, but like I would say write the big stuff off that really matters, but not like every single, like if you bought paper for the printer, like just take the L. Like figure out how to do that on your personal home, work from home. Everybody been working from home, do that on that side. But open a business account. Do not use your debit card to handle your business.
Ooh, that's important. Having a separate business account versus using your personal account to run your business and for business expenses is another great gem I think is important. It's very easy. I will tell you, online banks that don't necessarily have a brick and mortar. Yeah. I found that the online banks offer higher returns on interest than brick and mortar locations on your regular locations. What I did was I actually did research on like who had the highest interest rate on business accounts with the lowest minimal bank fees, right? Maintenance fees. And I have a my business account is a strictly online bank account. Okay. But the interest rate I receive is big, and I don't have any monthly fees to have a business account.
I'm gonna need that information. Yeah. Right now, don't get me wrong. Right now, my business account is through Wells Fargo because I've just been a Wells Fargo customer for forever.
Girl,
since they was walk all over you.
But now Wachovia.
Yes, I'd have had Wells Fargo when they was Wachovia. Walk all over you is what we used to call them because they used to just tear you up. But when I was a college student, Wachovia was fucking me up.
I used to have a Wachovia.
So it's not bad. They only charge me a $10 fee if I don't keep $500, and then
I'm gonna hook you up, sis.
Yeah, hook me up. But it's important because when you start mixing your personal money with your business stuff, and if you get sued for anything, whether like especially the girls, not just the girls and the guys who sell products, whether you shipping stuff or people didn't get the stuff and they can sue you and they start looking into bank accounts and stuff. Now they hitting your personal account because you keep commingling the money. It only takes a second to go and move the money.
Yes, a second.
Don't do it from your online personal account and just switch it because you can see it all. Go to the bank, make the deposit. I don't care if you got to do it at the ATM. I do it all the time. Go to my personal account, pull out money, put it in a business account.
Yeah.
They don't know where the cash came from. It just looked like a cash deposit. Do what you need to do. I have some additional fees because I did not want my address to be public knowledge, so I paid for a virtual office.
Yes.
So you can rent virtual office space that you don't have to have an actual office. It's just the address. And it makes your business look a lot more professional and legit because you can put down such and such road, Suite 300. Your mail will go there. They call you when your mail is there. If you want to set up a phone number, they will answer and send messages and forward you the message. I don't need nobody calling me because I don't have that type of business. But if I wanted to, I could. If I want to get packages there, I can. They call me when the package comes. I just rerouted to my house because I ain't got time to be going up there because the hours are ridiculous. Like, it's like 8 to 4 or something like that. I never make it there. But needless to say, if somebody look at my business, it's not going to be my house, I promise.
Yes. Speaking of phone numbers, also, if you have a business and you want your customers to be able to contact you but not have your personal number out there, so many ways to get a different number. And you don't even got to go the route of getting a whole new phone. You can use Google Voice to get a new number. There are apps that you could use for free that will provide you with an actual landline. One app that I know of is Dingtone, Dingtone. It's for Apple phones only, or iPhones only. But you don't have to, for that app, you don't have to pay a monthly membership fee, but you get your own real phone number with an area code where you live at. And people can contact you via that phone number, send you text messages through that phone number. So there are many, many apps and ways that you could go about not using your personal number for your business number.
Yeah.
And there was something else. Personal taxes. Dang it, come back.
Don't be afraid. Let's start that. Don't be afraid to start your business. When I first started, I was super nervous. If you've gone through like my podcast and went to the very first episode, it was called Do It Scared because I was so nervous about like, what is my voice going to sound like? Mm-hmm. What about people that knew me from back in the day that may not particularly care for me? They might be like, don't follow her, whatever. Like, you start getting like all these like negative, intrusive thoughts that like, it doesn't matter. Like, just do your thing. Like, go ahead and do your thing. And the people that's supposed to follow and listen will follow and listen. And the people who are not supposed to be around and listening and part of your thing, they won't be.
That's a really good piece of advice. When I first started, I literally started in 2021. And my philosophy and I knew what my fear was and where it came from. And I literally told myself, say yes to everything that scares you. My motto in 2021 was say yes to everything that scares you because that meant that I was taking myself out of the comfort zone and I was exactly where I needed to be. So every opportunity that came my way in 2021, I said yes. Scared as hell, nervous as hell, but I said yes anyway. Yeah. And it was the biggest growth year of my life, like following my passion-wise and stepping outside my comfort zone. And it was like, and the more I said yes, the more opportunities just kept coming and coming and coming. And eventually, to your point, like, well, not eventually, but yes, eventually you fall into your groove and you get more comfortable, right? Not that you're never, I think that, challenges will always come, or things that will always come that will challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. And to me, that's a sign that, like, you're exactly where you need to be, right? If you have a little fear, but make sure uncomfortable, yes, do that. But to your point, where people following you that are supposed to follow you, I'm a real big proponent or advocate for be authentically you and your tribe will find you. And I ain't meant to touch everybody. I'm not for everybody. My message not for everybody, right?
Exactly.
But those that I'm meant for some people, for a people. And those people will definitely find me if I just stay true to myself and stay true to my brand and stay true to my authenticity, right? Just know going into it that it ain't about the whole world. It's about the people that you're meant to serve and help.
I think my other piece of advice for people starting off, whether you are doing facials, doing hair, whatever the case may be, do not get upset when the people closest to you do not hold it down. When they don't repost, if you need to repost, when they don't listen, you be like, oh, you heard the new episode? No, I ain't hear it yet. And you can't take it personal because your family and your friends are not your target audience.
Yep.
So do not look for them to be your number one supporter. They may support here and there, but they are not going to be the ride or die, hard die, 10 toes down. It's not going to be. And you need to be okay with that. And you need to still have the motivation to keep it pushing and keep it moving and keep doing what you do.
That's good. I will tell you, the people that ride hardest for me that that are really like, I mean, they be giving me business advice, they be giving me ideas, they be in every live I do, they in everywhere I go. People that don't even know me.
Mm-hmm.
They literally only know me from my brand and being online. They do not personally know me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have a small group of people that really ride hard for me because they believe in me that personally know me, but most of the people that ride hardest for me never met me a day in my life.
That's how it is. Look, that's how I am for Breezy.
Right.
You can't say about Chris Brown to me.
Right.
I'm going to defend my man.
Right.
Not my man, like I think he's my man, but like I'm going to defend dude because I feel like he's like one of the few people that made a mistake and has never been able to live it down.
Yeah,
like it's true. So many celebrities that I know I'm getting off the topic, but so many celebrities that we give like passes to, and I feel like that man can't do that right. He doing meet and greets and he picking chicks up, and now y'all mad about that? Like what the hell?
He giving the best meet and greet of all time.
I'm mad. I ain't paid for one,
and people mad.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what we talking about.
That was a sidebar.
It was a sidebar, but anyway, Breezy, if you listening, I want you on the show. Yeah, but you know, just handle your business. You know what was so crazy? Last night I was on Instagram and a licensed cosmetologist was going in about new age stylists and how like you gotta come with your hair washed, you gotta come with your hair already blown out, and then they still charging $500 for sewing. You doing it out of your house. You're not using all the, professional grade items, whatever. So I reposted it and I was like, yeah, this is all facts. When women, the hair salon used to be an oasis for women, just like the barbershop is oasis for men, right? And you take out the luxury from it when I gotta wash my own hair, I gotta blow my own hair. And she was even just saying on the principle of most people do not properly wash their hair.
Yep. Right?
So you're doing hair, using your stuff, your utensils on hair that's not even all the way clean. Not to mention that there used to be an art behind the hair salon. Mm-hmm. If you had breakage, they were fixing the breakage. If you had some type of, scalp something, they were giving you something on that. Yeah. You're not even treating the client's hair. You just putting weave on top of it, and then when they take their hair down, they don't have none. Yeah. Like, there's so many people that they wear weave so much, and when they have to have, like, a week break, and they come to work, you be like, oh, shit, you ain't got no hair. Mm-hmm. You ain't got nothing. Because the stylists now have been able to get away with bare minimum, and then, depending on what state you live in, these braiders licenses. I could do a sew-in on a braider's license depending on where I live. Because technically I'm not using chemicals, so I don't need a true cosmetology license.
Wow.
Same thing with people that do locks. There's no loctician license in most states. You could just do locks. If you know how to do locks, you could go in the shop right now and do locks. So you don't know how to really help me with my hair.
Care for hair.
You don't know how to really make sure that I'm doing whatever to keep it moisturized. Mm-hmm. Some of them doing color, they have no business doing color because you gotta have a cosmetology license. When you start using chemicals, they doing color, they ain't got no business doing it, whether it come out nice or not. You get what I'm saying? So It's like for business owners, if you gonna open a business, get all your stuff in order and be legit. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could be in a situation where you now it's a liability.
Yes. Take yourself seriously.
That part.
If don't nobody else take your passion, your calling, your vision seriously, take yourself seriously. Because if you don't take yourself seriously, how is anybody else going to take you seriously? Take yourself seriously. Take what you do, your vision, your passion, your calling, your purpose. Take it seriously.
And I had to learn that as I went along. Like when I first started recording, I was just recording wherever I could record that was quiet. And it was like, this is not good. This is not good video. This is not. So you got to start spending money. Yeah. Like you got to invest in your craft. I say it all the time. I especially say it. You saw my licensed therapist outside of this. I say it in that. Like, if you're not spending money on new books or something you can do with your client, and you don't want to spend the money, even if you work for an agency, sometimes you got to spend your own bread because they may not be able to get what you need or what you want to do. You have to invest in your own brand, your own product, your own self. If you're not willing to do that, then you shouldn't be doing it.
To your point, I just dropped hundreds of dollars, literally probably $300 worth of books in the past week on coaching.
Yeah.
$300.
As you should.
Yeah, as I
should.
You
want to talk to somebody who every time I talk to you, it sounds like you want to fly. Like you can't really give me no strategy. I could have called my homegirl for that.
Facts.
Nah, we not doing that because, people sometimes jump on waves too.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And every wave not for everybody. Like, granted, I got the podcast. Can I get rich off the podcast? Probably not, but I have bigger goals for my brand. So I'm not solely relying on this podcast to pop like that. I'm bigger into, no, now it's time to get people in person because I really want to do workshop with mothers.
Oh, workshops.
You know what I mean? I want to do workshops with mothers. I want mothers to be able to have an oasis in a place they can come to in the evening on a Friday where this room, we got your babies over here. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to find a babysitter because we got this over here. And while you doing that, we going to help you do X, Y, and Z. We going to work through why you can't figure out how you could co-parent and it's been 8 years and you ain't been with that man for 8 years. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That space.
Yeah.
That's what I care about. The podcast is just because I like to talk.
Yep.
But the bigger we got conferences and workshops because we have got to heal in this space as moms, as women who, it didn't work out with somebody. We got to find our place of healing so that we can move forward and be productive.
And be better parents for our kids.
That part.
Yeah. That's a word.
So, we say all that to say, handle your business and jump in there and don't feel like you can't do it. You can. You can have a business with a child. Yep. You can run a business. Listen, there's a way.
You got a full-time job and a brand. I got a full-time job and a brand.
Yeah, I got a full-time and a part-time.
Right? You got 2 jobs and a brand and a daughter, right? I got a job and a brand and 2 kids. Like, yeah, y'all can do it. Take yourself seriously.
You can do it. You just it's some early nights. Early nights. I'm tired. Late nights and early mornings.
Yeah.
It's going to be some late nights and early mornings. You might have to stop what you're doing, put the kid down, and then go back to the desk and the table and the drawing board and be on the computer for another 3 hours and go to sleep for 4 hours and get up and do it all over again. Yeah. You may have to do that in the beginning until it pop or do what it need to do. There's so many women who are online who are giving free gems. What is the girl name? Let me get my phone so I can stop saying, what is her name?
To your point, I will say, I will be like, I will never say, I wish I would have, right? In terms of following a passion, walking with purpose, like really using what I feel like my God-given gifts are. I will never say, I wish I wouldn't have because I'm doing it, right? Like, I think that's one of the biggest payoffs is that I can say I did it. I'll never regret not taking a chance on myself, not betting on myself.
Yeah.
I did it. I'm doing it.
Yep. Every day. People doing it every day. And there's money to be made out here. We do not have to work as long as our parents did. You just got to have faith. And sometimes you got to be willing to lose.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid for it to fail.
It's a learning opportunity.
It's a learning opportunity. It's a kickstart to business in general, because there are so many people who are super successful now who will tell you they had 5 businesses before the one that really popped worked.
It took 3 years before they made a return on their investment. Yep.
I'm telling you, you got to be in it for the long haul. If you're looking for something quick, then this ain't it.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is not for you if you're looking for a quick fix. You need to play lottery. That's it. That's all. Or you need to go to the casino, because if you're looking for a turnaround that's like that, it's not gonna happen unless you're doing something illegal.
Right.
The girl's name is.
We don't recommend.
No, we do not. We are not condoning illegal activity. But one of the pages that I really appreciated was this girl named Learn with Chelsea. She does drop shipping. She made $100K in her first 6 months.
Wow.
Off of selling a Mama Bear chain.
Wow. That's amazing.
It just so happened that when that Mama Bear and Papa Bear thing was big, she was selling those around Christmas, and they went. Wow. Drop shipping, I'm telling y'all, I'm about to get into it too. Yeah. Drop shipping is where it's at. You don't have to have inventory. You never have to package a package.
Shout out to Sherry for putting me on the drop shipping, even though I haven't started yet, but she put me on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, just you gotta get started. See, she ain't started yet and she missing money.
Right, I'm definitely behind the ball.
It's about to be Christmas, Halloween, you name it.
All
She
of
been
that.
selling something for Halloween, she ain't selling it. So she missing money, y'all. She's out here missing money because she
Leaving
ain't
money on the
started yet.
table.
She leaving it on the table.
That's okay. I'm getting to it.
It's another girl. What is her name? Ashley something. She does the pallets. Have y'all heard about flipping pallets?
Mm-mm.
So her name is Ashley J93 on Instagram. She pretty much changed her entire trajectory of life by pallets, buying pallets from Target and Best Buy, all these places that when they have extra inventory, they sell it to warehouses and you can buy the whole pallet. You don't know what's in it. The pallet might cost you $500, but you can have 2 items on it that's $1,000 a piece.
Wow.
Get on the internet and change your feed. If y'all do nothing else from this episode, go through your Instagram, remove all the foolishness.
That's not
helping you,
educating you, uplifting you.
Shade Room should not be on there. It should be on your personal page. You don't need to see what the hell somebody did. Who cares? They're not telling you how to get money on the Shade Room. But every time you click on there and you like something, they're getting paid. And you're not. You need to be following people that are for $40. Yeah, it sounds like, I ain't buying no more e-course. Okay, then you ain't gonna learn nothing. Because, I mean, at some point, people got to get paid back for their time.
Yep.
They charge you for their time because they went and did all the research. So, yeah, you got to pay for it. But what's $40? That's Uber Eats. I spent $40 yesterday on some bullshit. And it wasn't even good.
That sucks.
Right. I got some food. It wasn't even good. I paid $40 for some chicken and rice yesterday.
It's a half a tank of gas.
Like, you got it. I promise you. Don't say you don't have it. You have it. Don't get your hair done for a month or 2. Do it yourself.
Yeah. Think about what you already know that you can teach somebody else.
Yep.
Through experience. Like, people don't, and also, I will say this. Another big lesson that I learned is your experience qualifies you. Know that. Your experience qualifies you. Don't feel like you can't do something because you don't necessarily know what Adam knows about it or Shakita knows about it. Like, your experience is enough and it qualifies you. So what do you already know that you can teach somebody about?
Not even that. Don't wait for it to be perfect. You're never going to start if you're waiting for it to be perfect. That was one of my biggest things. I was waiting for everything to be perfect before I dropped my first episode. And it was like, finally, like, nah, just drop an episode. Just start talking. So I'm going to end it on that. Do not wait for it to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. We gave enough gems. I ain't giving no more because it ain't going to cost you.
Right. Gotcha.
It's going to cost you. So we going to pause that out. We going to end it out. And that's how we going to do it. And we'll be back with another episode.
See y'all.
Bye.
I'm